Okay, Nakaba Suzuki, I see you starting to cook. What's up, guys? Hello, Pencil here to do a breakdown / review for chapter 164 of Four Knights of the which is known as Who Remains. And ladies and gentlemen, I'll admit, I have not felt a hype in my system, a feeling of excitement deep within my core for an upcoming set of battles in the Four Knights manga for a while now. Like, I've been liking it, it's been gas, it's been cooking, but I haven't felt this since when Arthur first stepped down them heavenly steps. And you may be wondering why, but luckily enough, that's what you're here to find out. So let's not waste any more time, and let's hop right into it. Editing me, are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go. What's up, guys? That guy with a pencil here. Fun fact, I do happen to have it on me and keep it on me at all times. And another fun fact, look at the gains, bro. Look at the gains on our boy. He flexes. He flexes. He flexes. Wow! Pectorals are bursting out his chest. Delts are, I'm not sure what a delt is, but the shoulders are popping. The tricep is popping. His bicep needs a little bit of work, but still it's cooking. The forearms, fantastic. The magical blade looking clean. Once again, it's crazy how Nakaba can make the fit look better by deleting a whole part of the fit. Because most of the nasty puke green he chose is covered by the off gold blade and the bright orange. So like, Nakaba, I'm not saying destroy the top and then give him a whole new fit, but destroy the top and give him a whole new fit. Nakaba, you can cook. I'm telling you, Nakaba, you can cook. But you know what Nakaba didn't cook with? This nasty behind. Yo, what is with Nakaba's obsession and coloring the Tristan platoon like bananas? He did this upon their first introduction, and now he's doing it again. Kion, you were looking mad saucy. Mad sauce-alicious last chapter. Then I see you like this.
That is absolutely ludicrous. It's Boku bonkers. I'm not gonna lie to you, dog. That's crazy.
Isol's fit. It's not. It's weird to say, and just so you know, I'm not a fashion guy at all. So any of my fashion people, let me know, because I know many of them are much more educated than me. Is it me or does her fit not match? Like, at least the color of her fit does not match her hair as well as it could. It feels so, like, muted and desaturated, and it's weird because a lot of the rest of this image is actually pretty heavily saturated. Anne's hair is heavily saturated, her eyes are heavily saturated, Donnie's red hair is forever always saturated, even the brown on Nazian's is pretty saturated. But it feels like Nakaba took, like, the dullest purple he could find. I get maybe he wanted to do it differently so it didn't blend in with Kion's hair, but like, if anything, Kion's hair is also pretty mute. You could have just gone with a really deep saturated royal purple if you really wanted to. If anything, I think Gawain's colored outfit may have worked a little bit better, and that may be another reason why Nakaba didn't want to give her that same color design because of Gawain. But still, I don't know. Something about Isol's design, it's like, especially for how gas it looked in black and white, something about the coloring just ain't there for me. For the other little bits of color design we see, interesting, this guy looks like a rip-off Lance to me. But I think that's just Nakaba, like, not even rip-off Lance, rip-off young Lance. If you remember what young Lance looked like in, I'd say the early series, not the early series, but in flashbacks, and specifically in, I guess he kind of look like this on the cover of his one-shot, and I believe a little bit in Grudge of Edinburgh. So, that's a neat little design. I like the color here. Though, once again, I have so many questions about these two. The silver, it's nice. I almost wish it was like a shade of red to be an homage to his father, but still, you know, we can work with that. These designs, I don't know who they are, but one of them's drippy. Oh, well, that's Boris. But I think that's Edlin, and maybe that's Hauser. I don't know. But the rest of the designs, fire. I'll admit, once again, I do like all these designs. Donnie, I still don't fully rock with Donnie's hair. That's one thing that's never really, like, sat right with me. And now I'm saying you need to get a better brown. But other than that, a fire color page. And I'm happy that Four Knights is getting consistent color pages, because, like, that typically means the manga's doing good, from what I know. So I'm happy that Four Knights is doing well. But with it being the case, let's hop. Oh, and Tristan's design, once again, I'm going to chalk it up to this not being his official design, but it's not bad. Not bad. Once again, the Tristan platoon typically does have solid fits, which is why I'm really disappointed in Isol and Kion. Like, their first fits were fine in black and white, it's just they ended up being banana yellow. And then their second fits were actually really, really good. So they fell off a little bit, but they didn't fall off as hard as Broski here. But let's actually hop into the chapter itself. So we open up, and we do get to see the proper reunion between Isolde, Kion, and Anne. As Isolde says, "You joined the Gladiator Festival too, Anne? Who'd you come with?" "Oh, with everyone. I'm so glad you two are okay." They will sound the exact same, and it's not my fault, alright? I don't have the vocal range. But with that being the case, obviously, questions are immediately raised by their arrival here. Huh? So y'all are sentient. And y'all remember who Anne is. And Beltreep doesn't know that Tristan's here, nor that Dragonhandle's here. I have so many questions, as Anne naturally does, as she says, wait, hey, Isolde, can you tell me what's going on with Prince Tristan? Kion, he was getting emotions, but sometimes you gotta character regress, as Isolde says, well, and then, naturally, a certain someone starts strolling up, causing, I believe this is Anne, to have a little bit of a freak reaction, as a certain individual comes a stepping. So, you did come here, you posers, pretending to be my friends? Prince Tristan! No, it's Tantress! I wonder if that, can someone tell, maybe someone did. I feel like someone may have mentioned what Tantress actually means. Because I know Tristan is actually apparently a very sad name. I forget, hold on. What does Tristan mean? Not Tristram. What does Tristan, the name, mean?
The name Tristan comes from the Celtic Gaelic language and means sad.
It just means sad. Hold on, let me see. What does Tantress mean?
The name is derived from the Latin words "iustus" or "iustus," which means just.
Oh, well, that's interesting though. Well, let me see. Let me see one more time. Tantress.
I found this on the web.
Okay, I can't find any immediate definition or meaning. But if Tantress does mean like, what did I just say it meant? Tantress, name, meaning.
The name is derived from the Latin words "iustus" or "iustus."
Just. So yeah, so Tantress means just, and Tristan means sad. I could get like Tristan or Tantress believing that the name Tristan is an insult, but at the same time, those are two completely different naming origins. Tristan means sad in like Old Irish, Celtic, and Gaelic tongues. Meanwhile, from what I got of Tantress, that means just in like Old Latin. I mean, Nakaba, it's not the first time Nakaba started to like mix mythologies or inspirations or pulls. Like, once again, we've seen all types of mythology, at least someone referenced in Four Knights. From like, I feel like we've seen Greek, we've seen Roman a little bit. We've definitely obviously seen old Arthurian and Norse. I'd say Norse too. I don't think we've seen any Egyptian, but there's been a mix of mythology, so maybe this is just another further reference. But still, it'd be a deep pull. But at the same time, it works because it works on the innate level because it's just Tantress, which is Tristan backwards, which most people would pick up on. And if it actually does mean just, interesting. And it once again could play into the idea why Tristan changed, because we still don't know that. Clearly, our cast and crew, or at least Isolde and Kion, do know that's really Tristan, and do know that something's up with him, and him specifically, because they seem normal. As he declares, no, it's Tantress! Sorry to say, but if we've met here, that means I have to defeat you all! So, at least, he's standing on business. I can put the respect on that, but I still don't know why. Is it just Camelot? If so, why were Isolde and Kion not affected? Like, I would get it, but that's the thing, I'm trying to think. Technically, maybe it is specifically targeting something inside of him, right? Because I'm trying to think of the rest of our cast and crew that's in Camelot. Gawain is either a human or a homunculus. Percy is a human life spirit, but still biologically human. And but then again, Noxings was unaffected. The thing I was about to go down is maybe it's targeting like his hybrid biology. Like maybe this is how the barrier reacts to hybrids. If it can't properly contain them, then it will somewhat mess with their mind. But Noxings is fine. And they're like a hybrid. Like not even, there's not a drop of human blood in them. They are giant and fairy. So I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with Tristan. Maybe it has something to do with a specific soul, because we know Elizabeth technically isn't even a goddess. She's biologically a human. It's just her soul is of the goddess Elizabeth. And that's where she gets all her power and memories from. So it's strange. I'll admit, it's very, very weird. I'm not sure what's up with Tristan. I hope we get an actual proper explanation for this. And this isn't just for like, plot. But everything's for plot in the end. But with that being the case, we see that Tristan drops a crazy bombshell, if only this were actually Tristan, as he says, all for the sake of Isolde, my beloved. Like, you see, the question is, in the context of Tantress's memories, ain't that kind of creepy? Like, you pull on this woman with no family, no friends, no background. You don't remember your family, your friends, your background, and then you just suddenly declare, oh yeah, that's my woman. That's a little iffy, Tristan. I'm not sure you can just go around and do that, broski. That sounds a little bit illegal. But let's see. And the reason I say it would have hit so hard is because you can see in Isolde's face, she's like, why can't he be saying that about me? For real, for real. And hey, I get it. I don't know about you. Hey, for all the people in there, how would y'all like y'all partner? Male, female, non-bi, anything. How would y'all like y'all partner? Do you want them tall? You want them short? You want them around your same height? Me personally, I'm 2 feet tall. So my woman's gonna be taller than me. But like,
I like the taller people.
I even mean like the uppy sense. Cause like, memes aside, I'm decently tall. But like, I don't want them taller. And we know Tristan is like that for real, for real. That's why this is the opposite. They didn't just call him Tantress because his mentality's flipped. Also because his preferences are flipped. He's just like his daddy. I know he is. It's me, Mel, and Tristan. We like our women tall. So like, what do y'all like? You want your partner to be your same height or around your same height, shorter than you by a decent margin, or taller than you by a decent margin? Anyway, it's fine. I mean, everyone has their preferences. I know people who are like 6'5", who have 5-foot girlfriends. I make jokes at their expense at all times because I still find it a little bit weird. But still, let's see. Quit talking nonsense already. Isolde's right here in front of you, you idiot. Open your stupid eyes. I don't blame Anne for that, and I can't even blame them for that because we don't know. We don't have enough context on if they actually met the presumably fake Isolde. I don't know. Once again, we have no clue. Despite what the chapter does. The chapter does give us a lot. It was a lot. Once again, this is... It's going to be a believe you little review because this chapter gives us a lot of juice to it. But, big bodacious booty butt cheeks, we don't know how long they were trapped here. We don't know if it's been a week, if it's been a month, if it's been a year. We don't know if the switch was instantaneous or non-instantaneous. We don't know how Anne and Kion, or no, Isolde and Kion got here. We have no idea when the other Isolde appeared. Nothing. We are keeping it super duper vague. And obviously it makes sense. We're in the middle of a combat scenario. But still at the same time, with that vagueness, I don't want to like start making assumptions because I have to make assumptions on top of assumptions. Like I could say, ultimately, the reason Isolde immediately tells Anne to stop here is because they've met the other Isolde. And they're like, oh, so this is the fake Isolde. And ultimately, Isolde just has to reconcile her feelings here. But based on what? I have no idea. We just don't know. The only thing we know is that they've interacted before. Kind of, sort of, but apparently they didn't interact that much, at least based on what this chapter goes on to show us literally a page later. So I don't know. This is once again Nakaba's, admittedly, I give him credit, his kind of storytelling where he'll give you answers. He'll give you flat out answers. We wanted to know where Tristan was. We have Tristan, who is confirmed by Percy the Life Spirit and Gawain, our magic expert and our literal physiology expert / soul expert. Oh, no. That's Tristan. So we got Tristan back. But like with Nakaba, typically every single time we get answers, we get like 50 more questions on top of that. And this is a perfect example of having answers. We got to see where the whole Tristan platoon is. But we have so many questions. And I love it. I'll leave it wrong with Nakaba. Once again, I think he's a weirdo. He's definitely not normal. He's a very strange fellow. But I do like how I'm constantly getting strung along. This is how Nakaba, not just on like the fighting level and the artistic level, because I do think Nakaba's good with both of those, but on like a intrinsic mystery writing, weave your narrative in a certain way level. This is how Nakaba keeps bringing me back every single week. And he's been doing this since Seven Deadly Sins. He's got me hooked. But let's see. And stop! But why, Isolde? Once again, they have no context for the other Isolde, and Isolde hasn't really explained anything, so Anne is going completely on the idea that Tristan is just hurting your friend's feelings. I like that. I like that she's so ready to step up and defend Isolde, especially when Isolde is, like, huge compared to her. Like, look at this. Look at the height disparity, broski. Like, that is crazy. But, well, actually, wait, who is that? Is that meant to be Isolde? I legit can't tell. Who is this? Am I tweaking? I think this maybe supposed to be Isolde? But still, regardless. But why, Isolde? Ultimately, Kion, doing his best, doing his darndest, decides to handle the situation. You know, oh, you two are just going to keep screaming at him. Let me hop in and get crazy with it. As he says, stay back, you two. I don't want... No, it wasn't the Vexen. What voice? It's been so long since I voiced it. I know I gave him a specific voice. What voice did I give Kion? It's lingering in the back of my head. What voice did I give Kion? I don't want to just give him the Vexen voice. But who am I using the Vexen voice for right now? Do I give him the Vexen voice permanently? I think it's time for the Vexen voice. I'm a scientist. Experiments are what I do. Yes. Stay back, you two. I don't want to, but I'll step up for you. Once again, Kion, while he's clearly changed, this 2-year time skip has definitely cleaned him up a bit. And once again, I think he looks better with the shorter hair and the scar revealed. Thank you to Kion on the live reaction for when you check it over on Patreon for us $1 a month, or you come a member for us $3 a month to check out the live reaction to this very chapter. It's about 22 minutes, I do believe. He pointed out the fact that Kion always did have the scar. I just wasn't paying close enough attention. But the scar reveal, the cut, and also thank you to King Bon. I believe he's listening on King Bon's YouTube. That boy does on the other platform. But these gloves do appear to be the same type of glove that Macduff was using to multiply his strength tenfold. For Kion, that makes perfect sense, considering he wasn't the most physical of fighters, and he's trying to keep it with actual deities, in Percy and Gawain and Tristan, especially in Lance. So if he did get another copy of these gloves, that would be interesting. Let me see, is he wearing 2 pairs of them, though? Because remember, I believe one of the gloves did get destroyed. Yeah, so he only has the one. He has the one that was taken or recovered from Macduff, the other one burnt up. Not even burnt up, I think it was just straight up left with, think. It was left with Teniac. And I think that's where Kion got this one from. No, so first one was destroyed. I think the other one was left with Teniac, and Kion took that one. So him having one of those gloves, very, very neat. I wonder if it like affects his perception though, because that would be a little bit weird. However, we see that Tantress is like, bro, who are you? But the reason I say I'm not sure if these guys have interacted before, because it sounds like they have, and maybe Tristan was just more amicable then, because we see Kion go to tap into those deep, loving childhood memories, as he says, Prince Tristan, remember this scar? Okay, I'm not gonna give him. I can't give him the Vexen voice because it's too not serious. I can't. I'm gonna give him a more. It's gonna be more generic, but like, I feel like Kion deserves it at this point, especially knowing Kion's backstory. But Prince Tristan, remember this scar over my left eye? I'm afraid it might awaken some trauma inside you. But if it brings back your memories, I don't care how much abuse you hurl at me. You see, when we were still young, I know nothing of it! And Tristan immediately goes to tweak out and attack him, which is hilarious, but interesting. This clearly, if it isn't a callback to Tristan's inability to control his demon side when they were younger, I don't know what this is. And that makes Kion, since I never realized it, wasn't paying attention, that makes Kion either the first or the second victim of Demon Tristan. Because if you remember, Lance's famous scar comes from the Tristan duel that we see in Grudge of Edinburgh. So it looks like Tristan always had issues with these abilities. Because I highly doubt it was just regular Tristan, like, wildly swinging out a sword and just, like, splice Kion down the eye. So, interesting. Once again, Tristan's demonic side was something I was hoping we were going to see spec'd into over the 2-year time skip. Like, I'll be honest. I wanted it, but I like the direction Naka was going because of the mystery behind it. I low-key did want Tristan to just be in Demon Mark, or even like in his Nephilim state, like how we saw the Demon Clan consistently have their Demon Marks on when they were free, the 10 Commandments specifically. I was low-key hoping we see Tristan in a state like that, whether it be even in his, if he was just purely in his goddess state. I was hoping we were going to see a Tristan that was purely locked in to one of his 3 states, either the Nephilim, the goddess, or the demon. But with that being the case, we're leaving that plot point open. While part 1 clearly ended with Tristan having some sort of acceptance over his dualistic nature, clearly having some acceptance isn't anywhere near enough. We saw Percy already start to backtrack a little bit on his character development and need to be brought forward from that. So presumably, Tristan still needs a lot of external help in order to properly accept his demon side and develop with that. And I'll admit, I would have liked to see him master and tame Demon Mark in the Nephilim state or the Goddess mode off screen until the point where it becomes passive like a Super Saiyan Grade 4. I would also rather progressively see that arc. So I'll take it. Nagaba made the right choice here. That was just me, Mr. Cool, wanting to see more cool guy stuff, considering despite having Tristan in the narrative for over half of it at this point, we really haven't gotten much demon stuff. We had Mel, who went Demon Mark like once. His elders didn't fight. And those are the only... Are they? I mean, we got to see some demons, but like the humanoid demons, I guess, is what I was like really itching and scratching for. And we only got hints and tastes of it with Tristan. And every time we got it, it was cool. So the base, I don't care about character, give me the cool stuff part of my brain was like, yes. Show me Demon Mark Tristan over the 2-year time skip, Nakaba Suzuki. Let him master it. Let me see it in all its juicy dark glory. But I actually do like Nakaba taking it this way so we can actually see it. However, Tristan lunging in with max force to absolutely bisect Kion gets Kion just freak out as he likely gets trauma back from presumably the last time something like this happened. However, Anne comes in with the craziest clutch. Now, of course, this is base Tristan. Presumably a somewhat, at least from what we see in this chapter, a probably subconsciously nerfed base Tristan. But still, the fact that Anne was pretty much all the way back here and kind of walked a decent distance ahead, and Anne was able to still intercept him and hard tackle him to the ground before Tristan finished his lunge. Okay, Anne, okay, I see you flexing a little bit, But with that being the case, we see that this, man, all the time, bro, all the time. I get it. It leads into a good character moment, and once again shows the imperfections of Camelot, likely things that need to be ironed out or refined. But Isolde, instead of defending herself or at least raising her weapon or raising her arms, like, I get it. Once again, if the love of my life, right? I don't have one, but if once she spawns in, if after years of knowing her, she randomly picked up two of my swords and just started to attack me, I probably would also freeze up in fear, if not flat out run. But I don't know. My fight or flight response has yet to be tested too seriously. But typically I do run. I will admit. At the times it has been triggered, like I be fighting. I don't be fighting. But I kind of don't like, especially considering she came in so cold last chapter. She was the chapter ender. I kind of don't like that she just. Oh, don't hurt me. Like, so you fought demons. And not just any, you didn't just fight demons, you fought demons and stood up to a fused commandment. And chunked them. So you solo all of season 1 with your bare Morningstar. Like, what do you mean? Why are you carrying it there? Why are you carrying it there? But, once again, I'm gonna chalk it up to mental nerve because it's Tristan, right? Because, like, once again, if my wife were to show up one day, maybe this is different, but, like, if my girlfriend, for example, were to show up one day spouting that she doesn't know who I am, a different name, and then just randomly attack me, yeah, I'd probably have this similar reaction. So part of me is like, Isol, no, but the other part of me is like, Isol, no. So it's alright. It just bothers me a little bit because I always want better for characters. This ain't better. But with that being the case, as Isol freezes up, she's the only one as Tristan stops short. Now the hilarious thing is, he's flying. Like straight proper flying. And you may be wondering, okay, Pencilman, why does that matter? Where are his wings? Where are they at? I'm assuming Nakaba just forgot to draw them, but if Tristan unlocked freeform flight over the time skip, that'd be crazy. I was like, look, he doesn't land here. In fact, you can tell it's flight because the way he rushes and then hard stops right at Isolde, the wind, you can see Nakaba have the wind effects blowing past him. So, like, Tristan just has freeform flight. And the thing is, I know that this must be at least somewhat intentional, or I want to think it's somewhat intentional, because we'll see here that Tristan does spawn his wings. So I'm assuming this is just I'm gonna chalk it up. There's probably something that's gonna be fixed in the redraws, or just as like a slight drawing error. I'm guessing he was supposed to have his wings here. Though admittedly, it's not like out of character or unrealistic to see Tristan flying. If you remember, the Demon Lord flies without wings. Specifically in Tantress' body, we see him flying high in the sky, wingless. And typically when we see even Goddess Clan or Demon Clans members fly, they don't actually flap their wings. Of course, that could be chalked up to the animation budget. But at the same time, they don't do that. And we never even hear, like, the static flapping sound effects. And obviously some characters' wings couldn't carry them. Look at Tarmiel, and mainly Tarmiel. I feel like Ludishow's wings are big enough. Sariel's wings are definitely big enough. Even Mael's wings, since he has 4 of them, may be big enough. But specifically, Tarmiel, he doesn't seem to fly traditionally. So if Tristan just did unlock freeform flight, neat. But I just think it's so funny. But I also think maybe it isn't even an accident. Nakaba probably didn't draw the wings here because they'd overpowered the Isolde in this panel. So, like, I don't know. It was a detail I noticed while I was rereading, preparing for the review. I was like, oh, that's neat. He ain't flying. Or no, he's flying without wings. But obviously, Tristan goes to attack Isolde, the real Isolde, and freezes up. And he's like, why did my hand stop? I know this is an imposter posing as Isolde. Oh wait, no, whoops, I interpreted the wind thing wrong. That's Hauser. But oops, well, yeah, I was Hauser. You watched the review. You probably read the chapter already. But with that being the case, that is interesting. Once again, We do not know enough about Camelot. Y'all will hear me mention this again and 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 again because it's true. We do not know enough about Camelot and how it functions. And Leslie, I have no idea what to really take from this. Should I take this as an assertion that all Camelot individuals, if they're directly encountered with something from the life that they genuinely care about to the point where it rules over a great portion of their existence, that they would break free from the Camelot brainwashing just a bit? Maybe, but at the same time, just last chapter, we saw Diodra being unable to reach his father. And if we remember, all that Ironside ever did was for Diodra. But at the same time, that's chaos being directly infused into a person versus just possibly the passive side effects of the realm. But at the same time, we don't know if it's just the passive side effects of the realm because Isolde and Kion are unaffected, but Tristan is. That's the thing. So many things are weirdly up in the air. And because of how Tristan's been moving, I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm low-key scared for Lance, bro. I know he's my glorious, too strong, mega powerful king, but I'm scared for my baby. Please, don't do this to Lance. But, of course, we see that Tristan, he is limiting himself, if only subconsciously, in spite of knowing, quote-unquote, that this Isolde is a faker. You're not even good enough to be my... I can't do... Is that David Humphrey? Who? Whoopsie daisy. But wait, who voices Shadow the Hedgehog in Sonic Adventure 2?
Ryan Drummond briefly filled in for David Humphrey as Shadow's voice during the final Hazard boss.
Oh, it is David Humphrey.
Adventure 2.
Who voices him here? Who voices Shadow the Hedgehog in Heroes? No, that's too late. Who voices Shadow the Hedgehog in Sonic Heroes? That's not who I'm looking for. Okay. Who voices... So David Humphrey is the original. And one of my favorites. But I remember Radical Soda made a video talking about all the voice actors. And it's one of my favorite videos of theirs. But Shadow, VA, Sonic, Heroes. One thing I guess because it's like meant to be a younger Sonic, completely different derailment. Just because I got the headache. Jason Griffith, who voiced Shadow in the English dub for the anime, and then began filling in the games for 2005. Yeah, okay, so it goes Humphrey, Griffith, and then Thornton. Okay. I remember Jason voiced Sonic and Shadow like for a short period in the era, which is interesting, but. I still don't get why they didn't just bring back the original voice actor. I get it. It's for like notoriety. That's why you use like the new voice actors. But like they're all CG models. I don't get why you wouldn't just bring in the current voice guy. Whatever. But also it's just that they're younger. It takes place at a different time. And obviously, if you can get Idris Elba on your movie, you're gonna get Idris Elba on your movie. So like it makes sense. But I still remember when I first heard about that all those years ago. Because we're on Sonic 3 now. I still remember when it first got announced that the current Sonic voice actor. Gosh darn it. Who voices Sonic the Hedgehog currently in the video games?
Ben Schwartz reprises his role.
Not Ben Schwartz! I know Ben Schwartz. Who voices Sonic the Hedgehog in Sonic Forces, the video game? Roger Craig Smith. How did I get that? I know Roger Craig Smith. He voices Batman, too. Now that's a range. You want to hear a real voice with some range? That's Roger Craig Smith. But I don't get why they didn't just pull him. But I guess because he's younger and you want to have that distinct nature, and maybe the contracts don't overlap. But regardless, all that to say, what was I going to say? I started looking at Sonic the Hedgehog voice actors. Why did my hand stop? It's cause I did that all because of an imposter joke. Man, gosh darn it. And that was all to say that I cannot do any of the Sonic voice actor voices. I can't. I can't pull Mike Pollock's Eggman. I can't pull out Dean Bristow's Eggman. I can't pull out any of those voices. I don't know why. I've heard so much of them. You know how many Chari 5 videos I've watched? You know how many Sonic the Hedgehog videos I've consumed in my years? You'd think I'd be able to pull off a pretty decent Sonic impression. No. You know what I can do?
That's the fastest in the universe.
From TFS specifically. I don't know why. I don't know. It's weird. But Suddenly, as Tristan floats there aimlessly, the wind starts to blow, and Isolde looks mad majestic. I ain't gonna lie, so that was Isolde. But I think, okay, so here I think this was just like a genuine artistic mistake, because look at how small Anne is next to Isolde. Her head is barely up to Isolde's like crossed shoulders. I know Isolde's tall, but I thought Anne got taller. But then again, maybe Isolde grew even more. But with it being the case, we see that things are blowing. Wind in this tower, and a massive tornado appears. A gargantuan tornado appears. Now, I'll admit, in a lot of reactions subconsciously, I was actually low-key hoping this was Tarmiel. Not Tarmiel. I was only low-key hoping this was Sariel, because remember, the Archangels are actually confirmed to reincarnate, and we don't know what's happening with them. But then again, they were goddesses, so there's no way. And obviously, it was mentioned in the previous volume extras that Hauser and crew were going to be showing up, including Gother, and I'll show who I think is Gother later on in the chapter, because clearly Gother made the tournament. But with it being the case, a gargantuan tornado appears, giving me flashbacks to the previous time we had a Tonomanto with a whole bunch of characters. Well, not the previous time, but the previous time before the previous time, all the way back in the Faisal Fighting Festival arc, which ironically took place much earlier in the narrative than this one. We're 164 chapters in the narrative. I'm pretty sure the original Faisal Fighting Festival took place well before the hundreds. Like, for some reason, 88 is ringing around in my mind, but I don't think that's the right number. But with it being the case, we see a gargantuan tornado pull up, and it starts to give them the good, the thick, the juicy, the Omega Zuck. As Anne says, I can feel it sucking me in. And after your comments from last chapter, that's a little bit devious to say. You better watch your tongue. But with that being the case, we see that Kion is bamboozled and fully gales it. I'm not going to say he breaks character a little bit, but he goes, oh no! It just keeps getting bigger! Is that what you said when you first saw Tristan? Let me stop this. But with that being the case, we see that Anne says, we have to run for it! Carry Bush for me, Kion! And Kion naturally asks, what? Why me? And who is this guy? What are we cooking? And ultimately, Isolde and Tristan stand next to each other. One thing I'll admit, Tristan's hair does look a little bit big here. That's actually an issue I have. Fun fact, if you ever looked at any of my drawings and been like, even though Pencil Man doesn't basically attempt to do a one-to-one copy, something's off, it's usually the hair. I always make the hair bigger than the head for some reason. I think it's because my brain, it'll like separate. You know how art, well, maybe some don't, but typically when you're doing like art digitally, you have like layers where you have different artistic details, you overlap them properly. Obviously, when I do a lot of my physical art, there are no layers, but my brain, for some reason, will be like, okay, face is one layer, hair is another layer, and I'll try to copy both to scale, but the scales won't line up one-to-one, and that's why the hair will typically end up bigger. Usually the face never ends up bigger, it's always the hair. And that's one thing for Tristan here. It does seem, even a little bit for Isolde too, but then again, it's Isolde's fine. It's mainly just Tristan. His hair looks a little bit too big, fluffy, and floofy here. But of course, we see Tristan turn away from Isolde and say, So, I don't need to take action after all. This will be the last time we meet, I presume. Oh, I thought he said I promise. This will be the last time we meet, I presume. And then Tristan spawns his wings and flies off. So, once again, shocked that they don't know he's here. But at the same time, it is cool to see, once again, he hasn't lost at least anything of his goddess powers. His demonic abilities are still kind of up in the air. Presumably, we're going to see that actually properly in the tournament. Hopefully in a Percy versus Tristan match. Just, for all time's sake, Mr. Zalula and Do, if you don't mind, Akabov, you could sprinkle a little bit in for me. I'd appreciate it. But with it being the case, Tristan flies off as Isolde cries, Prince Tristan! And we do see that, once again, Camelot's security and brainwashing is a little bit. Arthur May got that thing from the dollar store, because Tristan looks back like, wait a minute. My urges! I love tall women! And he's thinking about his Isolde, his beloved, who's like 5 feet tall. And Tristan's like, no. I want uppies! I want uppies so badly! Like he's screaming uppies in his head right now. That's why he looks so sadly back at Isolde as he vanishes it. Or no, he doesn't vanish it. We immediately go to the tornado. But obviously, Tristan, he's gonna be safe. He's gonna be fine. I think it's gonna require being a taste out his mouth, though. Presumably, Tristan will dominate the tournament. If anything, I definitely see the finals being Tristan and Percy. One way or another, it's gonna be between those two. But the only issue is, if either of those two do win, what are you gonna wish for from Beltreep? In fact, how are they even gonna fight in front of Beltreep? I know they have the rings that are equipped to them, but at the same time, is it like how good is that deception magic? Did Gilther forge them himself or something? Because when you think about it, sure, Beltrebe, when observing countless other people fighting at once, would be like, oh, okay, whatever. But when he sees the boy with wing-like verdant green hair fighting after he knows he's just recently been revived, you're telling me that's not going to be like, wait a minute. Or when he sees the boy wielding both light and darkness all at once, he's going to be like, something smells fishy. And of course, when he finally sees Gawain herself, he ain't going to be like, is that the homunculus? Like I feel like he's gonna notice. So I'm interested to see how strong these rings are. But Tristan flying away, he'll be saved. It'll be fine. I'm interested to see how that one's gonna go. But with it being the case, we do get to see inside the tornado itself. This is okay. Just casually screaming. Oh wait, no, I think. Well, actually, maybe this is meant to be Tristan just talking to himself. This is okay. Gaslighting himself. As Kion's like, oh no, I'm cut. As people scream as they're taken away, I believe that's meant to be Isolde. And Kion begins chanting, very specifically summoning. I'm gonna try it. Tamune Epa, come to me, Gog Magog. Now, that is an evolution if I've ever seen it. Kion has gotten much stronger in the 2 years. Halfway in terms of like just abilities, and in terms of like drip, and then also in abilities, because that is a much bigger rock golem than what he's done before. I very specifically say this is a rock golem and not simply just a rock construct, because he names it for one. But at the same time, this seems like it's twofold. It looks like this big thing, I'm not sure what it's supposed to be, maybe it's supposed to be an extension of this, does grab onto the funnel to attempt to try and stop it. Meanwhile, the main body does end up shielding the trio of Kion, Anne, and Isolde, and presumably Boar's there too, because poor Boar's. But with that being the case, as everything gets blown about, Kion summons that. Now, once again, we know there are multiple levels of spirits that one can summon. There are basically endless levels until you get to the king tier, so there really aren't endless. But I wonder how far Kion's gotten and how much more powerful he can get in the second half. Because once again, I don't know, at least Enoch was writing it. While our cast and crew that's not the Knights may end up getting power craft, it seems like they're always going to be somewhat relevant by how Nakaba was dragging it so far. So, I wonder. But, with that being the case, we see that while they are guarded, everyone else is watching in absolute terror as the tornado goes absolutely wild. And Nassim says, well, my beloved baby boy, I think we ought to run. And Percy says, look at this magic. It's come all the way to Camelot. And Nalcinides actually asks, huh? What do you mean? But obviously, if you couldn't tell, that's Hauser. And very specifically, they all met Hauser previously. I'm pretty sure and in fact, I think it was Nalcinides and Percival who were there to watch him at least use tornado magic. So it's interesting, because I remember in order to treat the dragon, I feel like Hauser had to go down, or so, I forget. But ultimately, Percy innately recognizes that magic while Nalcinides doesn't. That's a little unfortunate. But with that being the case, where'd my brain go? Yeah, Nalcinides asked that. But then we see this new character looking a little bit angy, a little bit devious, as they proceed to stroll straight into the tornado, by the way. And we see the Donners be like, let me test my games. In fact, let me take a sip before I start doing my dude bro voice. That was too much. That wasn't enough. But, so it's tornado magic, huh? Well, my uncle's a Tempest caster, and he trained me up. Just watch as Master Donnie blows this little gust to pieces. Ba-da! Donnie, how are you so stupid? Now, once again, I said it before, and I'll say it again. Oh, peep the fit. This is not a fit. But I'll admit, I ain't the sharpest spoon in the kitchen shed. You're looking at a guy who can barely play video games properly. I can't get combos. Nothing. I ain't got much going on up here. Trust me, it's a lot of hot air. And sometimes the air ain't even hot, it's just air. But, broski, There ain't no way on this good, green, gorgeous thing we call a planet. Your dumb behind self looked at a whole tornado, which you immediately compared to your unc's magic, which you probably should recognize considering you were raised and trained by him since your mama got up out of here real young, and said the best thing to do is throw rocks at it. Donnie. The empty head allegations are never being beaten by you, my friend. You might as well throw yourself at it. It's probably more effective. Your head's probably heavier. But then again, there's nothing in there, so maybe it's super duper light. Donnie, ain't no way, bro, trying to fight a tornado with a pea shooter, bro. Why are you talking? Donnie. I love you, man, but put something up there. Put something, even if it is more hot air. But speaking of hot air, we see someone laughing. That's right. Bring it on. That wimp Donnie doesn't realize it's me. He's resisting at full force. Oh, that's actually awful mean of you, Master. What do we do if you wind up defeating one of the Knights of Prophecy? And that's Edlin. If you'll remember, Edlin was the character from chapter... I'm pretty sure it was right before... Yeah, it has to be. It has to be, because the Demon arc instantly led into the 4 whatever arc, which the Deadly Talismans, I do believe, which immediately led into the Leonis arc. So I think it's right before the Demon arc. Edlin is the guy with the dragon plot. Speaking of, obviously, Hauser and his magic, when he last appeared, Edlin's here again. He fully went under Hauser's wing, he cut his hair, and I'll admit, it looks like he got a lot smaller. Hold on, let me double check something. I meant to double check this in between reviews, but that's what the internet is for now. Look up Edlin. Please, Edlin. No period. Edlin Fourknights of the Apocalypse. Let me see. Oh, he looks... Oh, well, maybe... maybe I just thought he was bigger. But, no. His arms look a bit beefier. It looks like he's slowing down quite a bit. Bro, kind of... I'm not gonna lie, kind of lost some of his gains. At least, it doesn't seem as shredded as he used to be. As he says... that statement he just said. But I do like that he's here. I like that Hauser's here. I will admit, though, I would have... If I had to, I definitely would have taken more new characters. Especially considering how much Nakaba coached with 2 of the characters we'll see later on the chapter, one of which we already saw. I do kind of wish Nakaba just went with a whole fresh set, a whole fresh roster. I think that would have been a lot more interesting for the long run, and really made certain things and certain matchups more interesting. I love Hauser, and obviously we didn't get to see much of Hauser in his combat. We didn't get to see much of Edlin, and obviously we have much more diverse and dangerous opponents up ahead. And obviously, even, like, hero versus hero fights are always nice, but one of the best things about a tournament arc is that you can introduce a bunch of random characters. And a lot of the tournament participants, as you'll see by the end of the chapter, are characters we already know and someone know the kits of. But, of course, it's post-time skip, they could have new kits. However, sorry, my brain is throwing together a whole bunch of fusion words. But we see that Hauser says, "Don't be a moron. Surely they're able to overcome this much of a trial, or they'll never save the world." Donnie, I get where you get it from, buddy. You must run in the family. But that also isn't necessarily the smartest plan. They may have their guard down, Hauser, and you are making a gigantic tornado. But I'll admit, while I was kind of for Hauser's stash at first, no, I think keep the stash. Honestly, you know what? I'd say give Hauser a full beard and it would work better. Or give him a goatee or something. I think the stash just looks a little weird. But then again, I guess he kind of is that uncle in his mid-30s, right? Maybe even older. Maybe he's in his late 40s. How old? Hold on, let me peep. He may be in his late 30s, early 40s. Hauser. sevendeadlysins. Hauser. How old are you, buddy? Yeah, he's 39, so he's in his very late 40s by the time of today. So I guess technically he does look appropriate. So never mind. I think it's fine. I think the big reason he does have to have this mustache or some sort of facial hair, some sort of distinguishing feature, is even though Donnie's hair is black in the manga, it's way too similar. You wouldn't want to get these characters confused if Donnie was clean shaven, if Hauser was clean shaven, especially considering Donnie now has this build. Yeah, it wouldn't be the smartest idea to just copy and paste Hauser's original design. So I'll take it. However, we do get to see that Hauser warns him, "Now, Edlin, don't blunder too close to the tornado. It'll sweep you up in the blink of an eye." Interesting that Hauser doesn't have such finite control over it, but then again, he's likely very out of practice, as someone bursts right through. As Edlin, poor Edlin, says, "Oh, yes, master, I know." And then...
Hi!
Dog. There is no more disrespectful way to go out. There's no, like, I don't know if y'all ever play with nice people. Like in any sort of competitive thing ever. The thing that hurts the most about nice people is that they don't even trash talk you. They just look at you, they'll smile, they may have a little giggle here or there, and then they one-shot you. Or after a match, they'll say good game. Or like it just, something about it hurts even more. So to see someone just straight walk through the tornado, by the way, they were seemingly entirely unaffected by the spin of it and all, or they're too strong for the tornado to affect it, kind of like how Escanor was too strong for Omnis Nebula to affect him. So right on through and just whoosh, Edlin right in the side. Now, I want to assume that wasn't his heart, but at the same time, I think the heart is somewhere around here, and he was stabbed in his left side, so this blade immediately sinks into Edlin, and Edlin falls. As Donnie goes, Edlin? And immediately his tornado disperses. That is logical, though. I get it. He lost concentration, he's worried for his student, it makes sense that he would shut down the magic that was oppressing everybody. But, with it being the case, we see that naturally, Edlin's like, whoa. What's happening? Oh my. I can't feel anything, but I can see everything. But he says, am I dead now? Now, interesting little detail here that I really didn't notice on my live reaction. She waves, or whoever this person is, they wave to Edlin in his astral body. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not like it's, I'm not even going to say it's rare. It's not impossible for characters in some of these things to produce the souls of others and consume them. Like, is he though? Hold on. Absorb the soul of others and consume them. No. Yeah, even red demons. That's the thing. I was about to say, maybe it's a little bit more rare, but red demons all can see and interact with the soul. The goddess clan has high ties to the soul. So it's not impossible for humans to learn to do the exact same thing, but it still seems so weird seeing what would presumably be a pure human just casually not only walk through Hauser's attack, but straight and one-shot Edlin. However, with it being the case, we see while they can interact with spirits, they're not the only one, as Percy... Hauser! Wait! I got soul! Ah! Proceeds to, and like, I'm not even sure if he hits Edlin here or if he just like holds his hand above his head, but he books it over as Hauser begs Percy to help him, Percival, and Percival immediately says, "Wake up!" And Edlin goes, "Oh, I can feel things again. Being dead was not fun." But this does raise two questions. Well, actually, let's get to the end of it first. Percival, you just saved you. Thank you. Once again, this barely feels like Edlin I knew. But then again, I need to do a reread of Four Knights. However, big thing here. One of two things. One, I'm shocked Camelot would let you die. Now, you may be like, whoa, Pennsylvania, what are you talking about? This is a gladiator festival. Of course people die. Remember how Camelot is built and functions? It's not self-powering. It's not self-operating. None of that. It works on wishing energy. So I'm shocked that this gladiator festival, which is meant to be a massive source of wishing energy, at least according to Beltreat from a few chapters back, I'm shocked it would allow people to die. Because, one, it's Camelot, and humans, by humans, of humans, for humans, the perfect and everlasting kingdom, presumably even its subjects are perfect and everlasting. But also, that would be removing wishing energy. You kill somebody and they don't have any capacity to, live and dream and hope, then they wouldn't really be able to feel Camelot. So that's interesting. But at the same time, it's not like Edlin's soul went to the capital of the dead or anything. It was still lingering around his body. So maybe this is a special type? I don't know. But the other big major thing is looks like Percy can just restore life. How broken do you want him to be? Mel himself is already cracked and his bag is like 2 inches deep. Bro's got Hellblaze, he's got full counter, and he ain't got nothing else. But he's at least cooking with that alone. Percy is insane on every level, bro. What is this? What is this, man? But, of course, we see as Edlin is brought back, and the truth is revealed about his revival. The other person, who's a little bit mad that their KD ratio is messed up, is like... But Percy's like, come on now. You really think you're built like that against me? Do you know who I am? Do you not recognize the hair? Do you not recognize the fit? Do you not recognize the drip? And the assassin says back, drip? What drip? Because right now it looks like you're drowning without anything on at all. So, like, obviously they move in, but their blade does get casually blocked by Percy. Percy isn't even paying attention to them as they smile and swing again. And ultimately, Percy just casually bats them off and is like, really? Is this all you got? And they get pushed back, but ultimately they say, you're not too bad, huh? Who are you? Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not sure if this is supposed to be referencing another character or a reincarnated character, but they are insanely powerful. I've seen some theories that this could be like this and another guy could be the supreme deity and the demon king, but those would be interesting incarnations to be here. And why would they keep choosing to, over some maybe not that worth it? But that being the case, we see that we have this new character who we don't even get a name for, as Percy is forced to turn over to his right, to the Donners, as massive explosions go off. Boom, 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 boom. I'll admit, for half a second there, I thought it was Gila, but it is in fact not Gila. It is Big Wayne, as she declares, ha ha! Taste my full magic fork! Get your taste of my full magic meat! Hey, get your taste of my full magic taste your fill of my magic force, you. That's what she says. Alright. But full force of my magic. And notably, she's spamming sunshine as things keep blowing up, as she keeps burning people to a crisp. She looks and she sees something suspicious. Someone, since we're just more like it. Someone beckoning her on. And we see Gawain is like, oh, you think you're built like that for I'll show you what happens to people who think they're built like that for real. Well, actually, no, hold on. I have the proper incantation for this. That's what she hit. Dog, look at this. Exterminate maximum rate. What? This thing is huge. Look at Gawain. No, back to the beam. No, look at Gawain. No, back to the beam. No, look at Gawain one more time and now back to the beam. It's huge. Like, golly, Gawain, one little bit of taunting, you immediately pull out the clock. Hey, look, this is a life wiper. You know how many verses this thing solos alone? Infinite amounts. But you know who it doesn't solo? As we see, Gawain is shocked to find homie just. I was like, I think I'm gonna take. Oh wait, I'm in the middle of a tournament. He looks so clean though. Well, I'll admit, the last design was like, yeah, I mean, it's nice enough. It's an Akuma Suzuki original. I like the one off-brand strand of hair. I like the tiny blade. I like the fit mostly. There's nothing bad about it. And for how do I put this? But while her design is alright, his design is just straight peak. Once again, I can see why people think this guy's like the incarnation of the Demon King or something, because he does have the similar fit, the similar attire, and the similar build-ish. Well, no, I'd say he basically is the same build. So this guy pulling up and going crazy. I like it. We got two solid new characters. We're about to go boogie bunkers. But with it being the case, we see that Gawain is bamboozled to see that her exterminate maximum rate was not enough. As overall, things have gotten bad. Halt! Stop the fight! This field has now been whittled down to 16. These will be the participants in the tournament of the Gladiator Festival. So, let's look at our 16 and see how many we can name. We have Percival, we have Kion, we have, we have Nonsians, we have Anne, we have Gawain, we have 7. Why is my brain lagging? What comes after 7? We have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we don't know. We kind of know, but we don't know. We don't know. Where's my brain going? God, I got to the end of the video. Where's my brain going? Wake up, brain. Wake up. But ultimately, once again, this is a lot of familiar faces or like non-hostile faces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We know. Oh, is that on? Wait, hold on. Think before you speak. Take your time and read and count. So we know. But okay, all these characters are here. I'm excited for all of them to cook, and I can't wait to see what all their abilities are. If I had to hazard a guess, this is Gother, and I cannot wait to see everyone pop off. I'm going to stop recording right here before my brain just absolutely shuts off. I want to thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you made it all the way to the end of this video, please do me a favor and leave 16 top. As in like 16, as in overall 16 series, and then top as in like TOP. In the comment section down below. I did thank you so much for watching. Please remember to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you hit that little notification bell so you not miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do happen to have a Patreon down below where you can support me for as low as $1 a month. No, you can see exclusive videos, early content, and more. Also, now become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. Those perks will include the live reaction to the my next video will include live reaction to this very chapter, as we rate all my videos, and if you come into a $25 Patreon or $25 member, you can order whatever video you want. Also, I do a link to my Ko-Fi in the description down below. You can drop 5 beans for a short video, 25 beans for a long video, or any beans at all. Any support is always greatly appreciated. Now, I'd like to thank you so much for watching. Once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is Dag on the Pencil, writing off. I'd like to give a thank you to our $3 members: Zara, Greyhound, Eternal Flame, NMA, Real Rare, Red Wolf 4765, Astro, Brandon Payne, G Prosper, and Glacier XZ. And I'd like to give a thank you to our $5 patrons: Midnight Lord 21, Kevin Encarnacion, Sean, Igneel Lind, and A+A. And I'd like to give a thank you to our $7 members: Fine and Austin Wimberly, A Uchiha, along with Yuki Ally. And I'd like to give a big ol' thank you to our $10 members: Robbie Uchiha, Jay Warrior, and AZ Void. And I'd like to give a thank you to our $10 patrons: Overlord Zero, Joaquin Munoz, and Idem Okami. And I'd like to give a final, giga, legendary, superhuman, beyond the bounds of reality thank you to our That Guy with a Pencil tier patron. Okay. Calvin Elder.